Welcome back. In this video, we will understand about data reconciliation between the source and target data tables in Hive. So to get started, I have logged into Cloudera. Just click on terminal button and just give Hive. So I'm logging into Hive. So here, let me check what are the tables present. So I'll see show databases. So I have two databases created here, export underscore source and export underscore target. So let me get into this database, use database, export source. Please just use export source instead of giving database. Here you can just see what are the tables. So I have staging, DWH customer details tables. So I will consider this as a source table from this export source database. Next, let me use export target show tables. So I have DWH customer details. So I will use this as a target. So let us see the data reconciliation between the staging customer details and the DWH customer details. So first we'll see how is the data in the table, whether data is loaded in the table. So for that, I'll just select star from export the source database dot stg customer details table. So I have records in the table. That means data is loaded in the table. Next, similar way, I'll check from the target database. This is DWH customer details. Here also data is loaded and it's only 100 rows are there. That means fine. We have data in the source table as well as target table. So we have to validate how is the data between source and target, whether it is matching or there is some mismatch between the source and target. So let's begin with the validation process. So the first check we are going to see here is, let me clear the screen. The first check I'm going to check here is, I'll just begin with checking the metadata check to see the column names, data types, and their lengths. So I'll see the structure of the table, whether those are matching and they are according to the mapping document or not. So let me give this query. So I'm telling describe database name dot the source table. Let me see what all details will be displayed about the table. Yes, we got the column names as well as their data types with their data lengths. So similarly, I will check on the target side. So just give describe and the database and the target table name. So here also I get the column names, their data types and the data lengths. So here if you observe, we have to map this according to our mapping document. So in that, according to our mapping document, in source we have 11 columns. In target, we have one extra column because there is a transformation in the name column. The name column has been split to first name and last name. So according to mapping document, everything is fine. So in case you have to look into a little more detailed structure of the table, we can use describe formatted table. So when you run this, see we get all these details. So we get the detailed information about the table, that is how many columns are there, what are the data types, lengths, and then which is the database in which this table is created, that is export source, and who is the owner and when was it created, time, year, and where is the location of this particular data saved in the Cloudera, and what type of table it is, that is a managed table or the other table, and also it gives how many, it is divided into how many files. That particular data in the table is divided into 4 files. Like this, you have many details given about the table in detail. So similarly, you can check for the target table, which is describe formatted target table. Similar way here also you can find the column names, its database, owner, date and time of the creation of the table, and where is the table data by default stored into, and how many files it is divided into, and all the other informations. So we are done with the metadata check. So next check is we'll move on to record count validation. So we'll see whether record count is matching between the source and the target. So for this, I'll just run select count star from the source table name. So I'm just specifying the database name as well. So I'll just see what is the count of this table. So some tasks are running. So that will fetch what is the count of the table. So it is telling number of rows is 100 rows. So let me check similarly for the target table. What is the count? So here also it should be 100 if it is matching and according to mapping law. So map reduce job is running and then count of the table will be displayed soon. So we got the count as 100. So there is a match between the source table and the target table. So count check, there is no mismatch. So no errors. So next we'll be checking the null values in the table. So I will check. Let me clear the screen. So null check. I'm just telling select star from the table where customer name is null or email is null or phone number is null. So if anywhere null is there, it will just give me the IDs where there is null in email, phone number, or customer name. So it is telling no null values in this particular columns. So no need of finding count. So or else if some null values are there, we can also find count of those null values by using count star from the table. So since there are no null values, it will not be displaying any values for you, any numbers that there is null in this. Similar way, we can check on the target table as well, whether any null values are present in the particular columns. Takes some time. So it's telling there is no null records in the particular column. So it is telling okay and 0. The next check is duplicate check. Let me check whether there are duplicate records in source and target. For that, I just run this query. So I'll just tell select customer ID and count from this particular table, so source table. So for this, I'm grouping by all the similar customer IDs. And then I'm telling whichever customer ID after grouping has count more than 1, that will be considered as a duplicate. So let me run this. So if any duplicates are there, it will be part of the output of this query. So this duplicate check, I'm checking on only particular one column, that is customer ID. So it is telling there are no duplicates, that's why it's not displaying. So let me check the duplicate check on all the columns. That means combination of all the columns sometimes may have duplicate. So you can check combination of columns have duplicate. So here I'm just including all the columns in the select statement and count star and also all the columns in the group by statement. And if combination of all this has count more than 1, then it is considered as a duplicate. So let us check this way as well. Because sometimes customer ID may have a duplicates because one customer can have multiple orders. In that way, customer ID is repeated, duplicated, but combination of columns will not be duplicated in any case. If the combination of columns are duplicated, then it is considered as a duplicate record. So it's taking some time to evaluate for the duplicate rows. That is done. So it's telling there are no duplicates in the source table, even though on the one column and also on the combination of all columns. So let us check similar way for the target as well. So I'm checking on one column first. See, it is from the target table. All everything is same. Only the table name have changed here. So let me run this and check if any duplicate entries are there for particular one column. That is the customer ID I'm checking. It's taking some time to evaluate the duplicates in the table. It is done. So it is telling there are no duplicates. Similar way, we can check on the combination of columns as well for the target table. So it started running. See here, I've given all the columns in the select statement. All the columns as part of the group by, and also I'm telling having count star greater than 1. So all the combination of columns, if it has count greater than 1, then it is considered as a duplicate entry in the target. So if it is there, it will display here. So it is not there. So there are no duplicates in the target table as well. So there is no duplicate records in source and target as well. So next video, we will understand about one-to-one mapping validation. Thank you.